This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, 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 gang. West Coast with the gang, 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 gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast go ahead, stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang.
He's heating up!
Walk to the line, good versus evil, God in his prime, always in prime, always on time, our time to shine, wifey is fine, I'm doing fine, glad that you asked, God fill me up, mud in my glass, God clean me up, all that I ask, wherever you headed the fast, I am ahead, you are in last time I checked, you are all gas in the whip it up fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz, getting all curious, you put me on blast, blasting that Darius, kids in the back to the future is black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack, East Coast with the gang, 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 West Coast with the gang, gang, gang.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism.
You have poor mental health.
I let my wife sleep with other men.
White shenanigans.
You don't need to virtue signal this hard.
Unvaccinated.
I'm a simp.
It's called a cuck.
Cis.
Soy bitch. Oh!
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 24 Hundo and Ochenta y Cuatro of the Daily Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole, yo, back. More than another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexing on all you beesh.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, beaches? Welcome to the show. Make sure you hit the like button and share the stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, everyone, right now. Thank you so much. Round of applause for those of you hitting that thumbs up on the YouTubes. Hit it, tap it, stroke it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome. Come one, come all. Make sure that you are hitting the like button. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good shit. Check the links in the show notes below for joining the Swole fam today, because we are fresh. And when I say fresh fam, I mean we are fucking fresh off an amazing round table last night. Let's get some America for the Swole fam. That was awesome. Yesterday's live stream was private for members. It was a great round table from 5 to 7. It's available now for your convenience if you're a member. So if you missed it, you could still join and get access to the replay. It was fire. We'll have one another 2 weeks. And of course, we have an overtime segment going live. Even before we get into the tip, we got to talk about it. We got an overtime segment going live right after today's public stream. So at the end of the show, we're cutting out to go to overtime, and we got a brand new DWG. We got a throwback. We got new edits. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be awesome. Overtime is the shit every single week. Don't miss out. You can still join right now and get access to it. Plus, if you join, you can get access to all the previous overtimes, driving while gaining uncensored. Let's get some DWG in the comments down below. Who's ready for some DWG? Driving while gaining. Who's ready for some brand new DWG? I know you sluts are. I know you're ready. All right. So the quicker or the sooner we start the show, the sooner we'll get into those DWGs. So let's kick it off and bust this nut open, fam. What are you smashing today? Drop in the comments down below, and let's fucking go. Leo, you raging alcoholic. Cheers. All right. So hashtag theft. Today is fucking Friday. If you have not yet cleaned house, if you have not yet focused on pillar number 1, this is your friendly reminder to do so right now. Delete, unfollow, unfriend, unsubscribe. Not from the Daily Swole, you fucking chode. No, not from the Sleevescast. I'm talking about all the bullshit that doesn't serve you. It's time to do your weekly swole cleaning, right? Instead of spring cleaning, it's swole cleaning. So you got to clean your shit out. Clean out your closet, clean out your subscriptions, clean out your contacts. That, I always say, was the most important thing I ever did, was my contacts list. And a lot of you are probably holding, oh my God, contacts? You delete people's names? Abso-fucking-lutely. Doesn't mean you don't text people, but you don't need their name showing up. You can tell from the text conversation who it is. And it separates the important people in your mind and people that are just loose acquaintances. Like, you don't need everyone's fucking name in there. It's too much shit in your head. It's too much nonsense. It's too much. It allows people to get in too deep. All right. It's just like the same thing when Facebook was just kind of getting started in the early 2000s. You had all these things called friends. Oh, I have all these friends. You don't really have all these friends. They're people that follow you. You're like, it's like me saying everyone that follows my pages are my friends. It doesn't make any sense. Just because they're your friends on Facebook doesn't mean they're actually friends. And language is important. So the issue with that, and I'm not saying you have to delete everyone, but when you clean out at that level, you don't put as much, it reduces your anxiety. It reduces your stress in day-to-day conversations, because a lot of the people that you deal with on a daily are probably not that important to you. And the interactions shouldn't be affecting your emotions. Now, if it's your mother or your husband or your wife or your child, that's completely different. Of course, you're going to have their name, you're going to have their title and whatever in your phone. But the person that, I don't know, someone that you worked with a year ago, you don't need their name in your fucking phone. You understand? You don't need the acquaintance that you met at some party 6 months ago. You don't need their name and their full name and address and everything in your phone. This is just something to think about, but it makes a big difference. I'm telling you, it makes a massive, massive difference when you separate the importance of your contacts, when you segment. Now, everyone has different phones and different ways you can organize it, your favorites list and stuff like that. But trust me, it makes things and notifications that pop up and texts that pop up much less important, and the urgency isn't there. In other words, it's a way to separate the important things in your life from the things that just aren't important. And psychologically, it detaches you a little bit from maybe getting riled up or stressing out about something that really isn't that big of a deal. So just a thought, but make sure you're taking care of your theft, taking out the trash, blocking out, definitely deleting shitty people and shitty podcasts or shitty channels or videos, and segment things out of your life that that aren't adding value. So let's get a round of applause for everyone who's taking care of theft. Do not disturb, sleep mode, turn that shit on. All right, fam, let's spit on it. Let's get into that tip. It's time to get into it. Let's fucking go. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth, I feffed the guy I started talking to that sent me a dick pic. Thanks, chode. Oh my goodness, was it actually a chode? Ooh.
You switch the samples.
Was it actually a chode? Was it actually a short little stumpy? Or was it, was it something valuable? Did it have mass? Was it actually a chode? I'm curious. A reminder, fam, it is coming up quickly. That's what she said. P3S6, Papa Swolio's signature series, number 6, March 11th. That is literally, I can't believe the number. Why is the number still, Jesus Christ. Every time there's a private episode, it's episode 2485. It said 2484 in the sidebar. Whenever there's a skipped episode, when we don't do the stream like yesterday, sometimes the numbers, or I update them improperly. I do the next day rather than 2 episodes from now. So 2485, 15 days away. 15 days away. It's coming up quickly. So it'll be available for 24 hours, and we'll talk a lot more about the details of that. SwoleNormousX.com/signature if you want to save the page. Let's get into the first Swole fan post. It's from Brandon. We got a gym selfie from this guy who's like gone to the gym like 90 days in a row. Got my legs day in today, and in case you guys were wondering, the lights in the classroom still work. What does that mean? Got my leg day in today? In case you guys were wondering, the lights in the classroom still work. Okay, I don't know what that means. Is that an inside joke or something that I missed? Brenda, solid arm day at the gym. I may be on Papa Swolio's naughty list, but do I still deserve a swole spanking if I got to the effing gym? Oh, goodness.
He's heating up!
Oh, goodness. Elijah, we got a couple posts here. This is a little bit of a thread in the Telegram chat. Elijah says, hey fam, I have a huge undertaking ahead of me looking for some input. I want to have my entire family do the elimination diet. That's 2 adults and 5 kids. Jesus Christ. Wow. In my current financial situation, going grass-fed is definitely not in the equation, and even straight grain-fed beef might be too expensive. Are the anti-nutrients in rice low enough to make it a viable caloric filler, with beef, eggs, and butter being the main nutritional elements? White rice is really not as detrimental to most people. So, if you're using grass-fed butter and other things like that, as long as it's not like in excessive quantities, I would say, but it can definitely add some bulk. I mean, I'm not personally a big fan of psychological, like caloric filler, unless you're filling yourself with nutrients. But if you can get the organ meats in, if you're getting all those other important aspects, that's what's most important. So I would just use it to the extent that you need to. I wouldn't overdo it, but it can definitely be something that is not as impactful. Or sweet potatoes. I mean, those are very inexpensive as well. And yeah, the elimination diet. Remember, Elijah, the elimination diet is really whatever you're testing. So the content when it comes to the elimination diet, not everyone has to do it the same way, but if you cut out all these, let's say, inflammatory foods, you're cutting out a lot of vegetable oils and processed sugars and things like that, but you don't cut out coffee, obviously you're not testing the negative potential of coffee. And a lot of people have low quality coffee, or they have extreme caffeine sensitivities. They don't realize their sleep quality is having side effects because of coffee consumption. They drink it too late in the day and blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of other things that a lot of other roads we can go down, but whatever you're not eliminating, you're not testing. So that's really the most important aspect of an elimination diet. So elimination diet is really something that you're cultivating in order to stay on forever. Like the elimination diet for you is literally the process, the initial process of customizing your nutrition. So the structure of the elimination diet, testing one thing at a time, in 8 weeks, that is just the foundational approach. So if you're going to do an elimination diet, anyone that's listening, I mean, Elijah's situation is specific to him, but if you're doing the elimination diet, you definitely want to do it to the best of your ability. You really want to eliminate as many things as you can. You don't want to have a lot of variables, because then you're not really doing a full-blown test. And if you're going to do it for 8 weeks, you want to do it properly. So that's my take on it in terms of the white rice. That's really not as big of a deal as other things. So sweet potatoes and white rice could be used. Okay, let's see here. Elizabeth, we got 2 more posts, and these are both awesome. We'll start off with, 2 more. We got one from Elizabeth. Elizabeth writes, knew I would be snowed in today. So yesterday I went and got all the ingredients I didn't have on hand for the paleo chili recipe from the kitchen, making it as we speak while listening to the Daily Swole I missed yesterday. It's going to be an okay snow day after all. Can't wait to try it. Be well all. Excellent. Good planning. Preparation is the game. Preparation is the game. If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Kristen, last post here from the Swole fam. My doctor says I'm healthy, in quotes. Just wanted to make a comment on yesterday's podcast about the universe girl talking about her health. So I think that was 2 days ago? I think it was Saturday. Anyway, the title of the episode, if you missed it, was She is the Observable Universe. I was at the absolutely massive size of 360 pounds when my doctor told me I was totally healthy. Jesus Christ. Are you serious? I was there because I had gone to the ER and they noticed that I had high blood pressure and I got referred to her. High blood pressure doesn't exactly scream, quote, health to me. And I knew she was lying and either sparing my feelings, which is like, why? Or just trying to make the hospital and big pharma money since they wanted to put me on lifelong medication. That's when I decided to make a change. The doctor lying to me about my health was the last straw. I knew I was unhealthy and I knew I was going to die young. I could feel it. I was exhausted all the time. I was sick all the time. I was in constant pain. Healthy? Honestly, it was for the best. Had she told me to lose weight, I might not have had the wake-up call that I did. I've never been one to do what I was told. Now, I'm 200 pounds down with amazing blood pressure, and my doctor, a different doctor, of course, because fuck that lying beesh, is raving about how healthy I am, not on medications either. Fuck big pharma. That's what I'm talking about.
The attacks on me, quite frankly,
that's
are
what I'm talking about,
Kristen.
Hell yeah. Feff that fucking doctor. Feff that shit. Can you imagine going to the doctor? That's insane. That is an absolutely insane story. That's an insane fucking story. Went to the doctor at 360 pounds and the doctor said you're healthy. How the fuck do you figure that? How do you figure you're healthy at 360 pounds? Complete fucking bullshit. Kristen, you know, it's ironic. You said, I'm glad the doctor didn't tell me to get healthier or lose weight because I probably wouldn't have listened because I'm not the type to do what I was told. So the doctor lying to you actually worked. Jesus Christ, good for you. And if your doctor's a fucking idiot and you're like, wow, that does not make any sense, get a new doctor. Even if you have insurance, go to a different doctor. You can go to a different doctor. A lot of people think, and this is a weird thing, a lot of people think that just because you have a doctor, oh, that doctor knows what I'm talking about. All doctors have the same information, which is not true. So if your doctor is saying stupid fucking shit, get a new doctor. I'm telling you, get a new doctor. Go and, get another referral, or if you have insurance and that's the concern, is get another doctor in your, I don't know, what do you call it? In your network, whatever the fuck it is. Not all doctors are equal. Just like some people are smart and some people are stupid. There are some bad cops out there. Most are good, but there are bad people. There are stupid doctors. There are smart doctors. There are some doctors that will cut every corner to make a buck, that have gambling debts or have other sorts of addictions and alcoholism and stuff. And they'll do anything to make a buck, and they finish last in their class and they don't really give a shit. They're doing it for the money and they hate their fucking lives. And there's some doctors that are fantastic. And there's good and bad in every single, because some people suck and some people don't suck. All right. So anyway, that's just an important message, I think. Thank you for sharing, Kristen. Excellent. All right. If you're ready to join Kristen and everyone else that shared amazing posts today, join us, swolenormousx.com. And we have some awesome specials going on right now. So make sure you jump on that. All right. We'll take some questions. Let's kick it off with Trace on the Beastcast live question. Drop in the comments down below, #AskPapaSwole. And remember, if you want to call in, we'll get to some more calls tomorrow morning for Saturday's episode. We just go on over to askpapaswolio.com and you can submit a question at any time and we'll just get to it in an upcoming episode. So if you call in and we have a private episode that day, obviously it won't be featured, but it'll be featured in probably the next following episode. Unless we get a ton of call-ins, and it might be in 2 days, but we'll get to it in that same week. So make sure you call in. Well, that was solid. Come on now.
I give it a 10.
That was nice.
I can't.
It doesn't always have to blow out the ear holes. Sometimes it's just like the satisfaction. It's a good release. All right, we just got to off gas a little bit before we get into some knowledge cock. All right, here we go. Trace, Papa Swole advice for training with a hernia. I plan on getting it fixed in a few months, and it's only an issue really when I squat heavy because of the intra-abdominal pressure. Leg press, a good substitute. Yeah, so I mean, there's different types of hernia. I'm not a hernia expert. I think I have some. It's genetic in many cases. If you have, let's say, certain abdominal insertions that's hereditary, you might just be more susceptible to certain types of hernia. Like I keep an eye on like my inguinal area, which is like lower, right, like above the pubis area. So I have like a little bit. When you're lifting heavy throughout your whole life, it's something that's very common. So just keep it in mind. You just don't want to let it get really bad. Any kind of discoloring or pain or aching. You just got to be careful with that kind of stuff. You can get hernia braces and things like that, but that doesn't necessarily strengthen the hernia, like the area. So it might, make it weaker over time. So you just want to be careful with it. So leg press is a different alternative. You might also want to look into belt squats. So anytime you're loading your skeletal system, so putting a bar on your back, obviously the pressure in your abdominal cavity and stuff is going to be a little bit more exacerbated. So you might find it better to do things like Bulgarian squats. You might find sissy squats okay, or leg press okay. You might find that it's not as stressful for you when you're doing leg extensions and things like that. But doing abdominal, doing exercise that strengthen your core can also benefit as long as you're doing it lightly and it's not causing you any kind of discomfort. So it really depends on the severity. Have you gotten it checked out? Have you gotten it looked into? What the doctors say? Because sometimes it's like, hey, just keep an eye on it. If there's any kind of like exacerbation or issues, let us know. And they'll tell you just to watch it in the meantime. But did you get it checked out medically? I think, hernia surgeries are one of those things where it's, even if you don't have insurance, I think you can find places that maybe are like $7,000, $8,000. I know it's not cheap, but, it's a very common, procedure in many ways. So vacuums, doing any kind of, pelvic floor activation. If anyone else has personal experience with hernias, but there's different types, right? There's different types of where the hernia can be. And like I said, when it comes to inguinal, like that's like, I'm keeping an eye on that because I feel like there might be some, when you're lifting heavy your entire life. And I think my dad had hernia. And so it also depends on your core strength, and also genetics can play a factor in terms of like where your abdominal muscles insert, if they're more open, if there's more space for the intestines to kind of like sneak through, it just puts you at a greater risk. So just be careful with it. But I would say definitely avoid those kind of overloads. But belt squats could be an option. Leg press could be an option. You're still increasing the pressure there, but it might not be the same level of stress. It's definitely not going to be the same level of stress as squats. Squats are just very, very challenging. But things like leg extensions obviously wouldn't load the spine in that way. And of course, when you're getting down to that deep squat, there's definitely a lot more pressure. So when you're saying, is leg press a good substitute? There's no substitute for squats. I mean, Bulgarian split squats, but that's still a squat. So belt squats can be an option though. Just keep that in mind. Dita, how often do you drink bone broth? What brands would you recommend for someone who can't make their own? Look for something grass-fed, grass-finished bone broth. How often? We haven't made bone broth in a couple months. I'm going to start making it again. I haven't, just kind of fell out of making it, but we do have some in the freezer in case you just want it right away. But I actually haven't had it recently. I need to. Angel Marks, Pompasolio, what's the opening song to these live streams? They change all the time, play different songs. I think today was Gang Gang by King Darius. Friend of mine. You're not going to find it on Spotify and stuff, unfortunately. A lot of people ask, but he removed all his albums for whatever reason, like a year ago. But I have all the tracks. So Pompasolio's bumping that KD. So hopefully he puts it back up soon. If he does, I'll let you know. But I don't think it's available for streaming. To the Swole fam's chagrin. Tyler, Pompasolio, do you really need to carb up a lot before training? No. I find myself weak and fatigued when training, drink a lot of water with unflavored electrolytes, and sleeping 8 hours every night. You don't need to carb up a lot. Maybe you're just not getting enough carbs overall. Trace, I've had the hernia for a year, been monitoring it, and I've got good insurance. I just push the hernia back in and it doesn't bother me too much. Yeah. So as long as, you don't want to get surgery if you don't need it, but as long as it's not getting worse. And like I said, they do have some of those braces and some of those belts and things like that that can hold it and add pressure, but it might make it worse because you're weakening the area. You're not challenging that area to be stronger. So you have to be careful with like when you might use it, unless you're using it for like your stronger movements, but you're still doing core activation. Freddie says, when I have a mild one, I just prioritize a bit of core training. It helped me a lot in your case. Just take it easier and wait for the surgery. So I had the same thing. I had the inguinal and it kind of like was popping out a little bit like, oh shit, because my dad had one. And I think it's just more, I was looking into it. This is a while ago. Oh, it's potentially genetic and stuff like that. So I just focused on a little bit more core work and actually hasn't been an issue. Like it went away. I mean, it doesn't get better without surgery, but depends on the severity. You can strengthen the muscles around it or maybe focus a little bit more on it and catch it early. And of course, not exacerbate it. Freddie, what's your opinion on conjugate training style in general? I can't think of the details off the top of my head. The moving about of positions and exercise for me have helped loads in terms of how my body feels. I don't even know what the definition of that is, to be honest with you. I forget the details. I know the term used often, but I can't think of like what the details of that are if you want to break it down. Dita, speaking of sleep, what does your before bed routine look like? I like to sauna, and then I'll take a shower. I sauna, and I don't usually cold plunge after I sauna anymore. I like to cool off. So I'll sauna. I'll take out the kefir and put some new raw milk in. So I'll do like the kefir. I'll take the kefir out and, set that up for the next day, for the next 24-hour cycle, because I just put it in there for a day and then leave it in the fridge for a few days for drinking it, which it further ferments really nice. So I do that after I sauna. So I'm sweaty and I'm cooling off. And so sauna and magnesium after I sauna. That's my before bed routine. Sauna, and then I, wash up, shower. And I read before bed, in bed. I have the Kindle Oasis, but we put red film over it, so it actually is red. Because it sucks with these phones. In the Kindles, it says, night mode or orange, and still tons of fucking blue light. So the night mode on your phone sucks. I don't know if any of you use that. It's awful. It's terrible. There's still tons of blue light coming through. So I remember telling all of you to put your phone into black and white. I don't even use black and white anymore. I use red. So I turned it all the way to red. It's much better than black and white, because black and white was still bothering me. It was still bright. The whites were bright. So making it red is a game changer. So I've been doing red for a while. When it comes to the color filter, just turn it all the way to red. All right, let's do a call, and then we'll get to some more live questions if you want to follow up. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Phone call. Elias Salcedo. Ooh, here we go.
Papa Solio, where do you live?
I live in Florida. Thanks for calling. The free state of Florida. Flomerica. All right, let's see here. Da-na-na-na. Tyler, are there any replacements for heat therapy besides the sauna? It's a good question. Well, heat therapy. Heat is heat. So the sauna has cardio mimicking benefits, but doing cardio doesn't mimic the sauna. So it's different. Not really. It's like saying, hey, what's a good replacement for the squat? Well, there is no replacement for the squat. I know what people are asking, or what you were talking about before. There's nothing that replaces the squat. There's different exercises. Hey, but it's not a squat. Squat is so specific. It's so unique. It's such a great exercise. It doesn't mean you have to use squats, right, for building muscle. It doesn't mean you have to do squats, but nothing replaces the squat. So there's an additional exercise. Hey, this is a different exercise, but it's not a squat. So when it comes to heat therapy, heat is heat. So I don't know. I mean, some people might say steam rooms or a hot shower. It's just not the same. It's definitely not the same. And the reason is because of the heat on your skin. If you can go into, let's say you're in a sauna, you might be in a sauna and it's like 200 degrees. You put 200 degrees, that's like boiling water. You're going to burn the fuck out of your skin because of the contact points and the temperature change. You can't be just putting boiling water on your fucking skin. But you can be in a hot sauna. So the same temperature water ain't going to fly. So it's just different. Trace, did you build a sauna room or did you buy a kit online? Well, I bought a sauna. So you still have to put it together. It comes on a pallet flat and you have to, hey, put side A with side B and nail this in. And so you have to put it together. They don't ship like together. You have to build it. There's a lot of great sauna companies. There's, I forget the list, but Almost Heaven is the brand that I have. And there's infrared and there's rocks, like the sauna, the steam sauna, which I prefer. I'm not a infrared fan. Infrared in terms of the sauna. I'm probably going to be getting a whole kit for red light therapy, which is different. But so I like the steam saunas where you can put water on the rocks and stuff like that. You have the sauna stones. So they have really affordable different saunas. So I would recommend, like, for example, you can get indoor sauna or you can get an outdoor sauna. If you're doing it yourself, if you're getting a sauna yourself, you can upgrade the heater from some of these things, which will make it heat up faster. But also if you're getting it for yourself, I always recommend, it depends on where you're getting the sauna for. And if it's just for you, you don't need a big sauna. You don't want a big sauna. It might be like, hey, you have the money and you want to get, look at that, how big it is. And you have the benches and stuff like that. And if you get a barrel sauna, like a big longer one, maybe do some yoga and you could be doing some stretching in there. but it'll take longer to heat up and it might not stay as hot. And also the type of door. So you can get a glass door. So I got one with like a window, but also more wood because I figure like all glass, like it wouldn't keep in the heat as much. Plus like the privacy, because of course I hang dong when I go in the sauna. So let's fucking go. Always hang dong in a sauna.
Because.
And just keep that in mind when you're getting the size. So if you're really going to be, because it's a 2 to 3 person sauna, but 3 would be a tight fucking squeeze. I have no idea what situation would ever lead to have 3 people in this sauna. Mama Solia and I rarely are in there together anyway. So it's really a 2 person, but it heats up really quickly. We have it inside. So if you're doing it outside, you can get a small barrel sauna. You can get like a 2 person barrel sauna. It'll just heat up a lot quicker. So it depends, inside, outside. They don't take up a lot of space either. So if you're looking to put it outside, a 2 person barrel sauna, if you have a little bit of an outside porch or something like that, or a little area. Anyway, just my thought. All right, let's see here. Take another call from Chris. We got one from Chris, C-R-I-S. Chris, you're on the Daily Sleaze Cast. Good questions today so far.
So, my name is Christian, and honestly, I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I hurt my knee. Kind of took me out from doing everything else. Don't really plan on getting back into boxing or fighting anymore. Things have changed a lot since I've been to the gym. People talk about do cardio, no lifting, do lifting, no cardio. If you could recommend just like a basic routine to start lifting and losing weight, that I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time.
That's just a really vague question. I'm sorry to hear about your injury, but just recommend a program. You got to get started. So I would recommend yoga. Yoga is great. It's the mobility. You'll see some similarities in terms of the movements and the benefits from like doing jujitsu, just like being on the ground, bending, twisting. So I would just say get back into yoga, because just trying to break down a training program right now is ridiculous. So it sounds like you just need to get back. You need to create mobility. You need to create balance around the joints. And if you've never tried yoga, I would recommend getting into it. You can try a free class, swolenormousx.com/links. I believe we also have a link in the show notes. So definitely check out a yoga class. And if you're interested in joining Swolenormous X, we have hundreds of yoga classes, and it'll get you, it's a great way to get your body primed again, strengthening the joints, getting your muscle endurance, bending, twisting, especially coming back from an injury. It's the best thing to recommend as you get ready for a structured strength training program. Freddie. Have now been cleared of my clavicle fracture, slowly getting back into my upper body routine. Is there anything you would suggest to put extra focus on as of now, doing more mobility and warm-ups? Extra focus on? I mean, the shoulder awareness program, making sure that you're doing full range of motion, very light, practicing your mobility. Steel club, light, high reps is very good. You're getting a lot of movement. You're getting a lot of action on the clavicle, on the trap area, decompression for the elbow, wrist, grip strength. That's definitely one of the things that most people need to work on tremendously is grip strength. And the club can do that. It'll strengthen all the muscles in your hand and your knuckle, like your phalanges, your thumb, your wrist. And if you strengthen if you have weak grips or weak grip strength, it's going to translate to your elbows and your shoulders. You're going to start compensating to get around your grip strength. So I'll recommend that in addition to your shoulder mobility. Posterior rotator cuff, cobras, prone presses, things like that. Very light. Nigel, Papasolio, high weight, low rep versus low weight, high rep. Want to build more muscle and lose the fat. Which is best in your opinion? Irrelevant. You need to push yourself to failure and progressively overload the muscles. Yoga, nutrition, sleep. You could build muscle doing higher repetitions to failure. You can build muscle and strength doing heavier weight and lower reps. Just keep it moderate, push yourself, progress, increase the overload, the intensity over time. General question, general answer. There's no best way to lose fat because it's going to come down to your nutrition and your building muscle and strength training and consistency overall. Grizzly, Papasolio, in your opinion, just like everything on the show, why do people look down on those that choose to make self-improvements and not go out and blow money on junk food or alcohol? People are afraid of what they're not aware of. People have self-esteem issues, so they project their own insecurities onto other people that they know objectively are doing what they should be doing. But instead of doing it themselves, they choose to talk shit about it and pretend like it's not important to them. That way they can absolve their ego of responsibility for their own fatness. So,
Emotional damage.
essentially. All right, thanks for the call, Chris. We'll take one more phone call. Any other questions? Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We got one from Nelson. Nelson Valdez.
Papa Swole.
¿Qué pasó?
Question. How do we tell the wife that we need to go to the gym when she doesn't want to let us go to the gym? I want to go to the fucking gym.
Now, Nelson, you listen and you listen good. If she doesn't want to go to the fucking gym, that's one thing. She's not letting you go to the fucking gym? Letting you go to the fucking gym? Nelson, swing that fucking dick. Go to the fucking gym. If she doesn't want to go, that's her problem. But if she's not letting you, no. Don't be a cuck. Go to the fucking gym, bro. Go to the fucking gym. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's not your mother. My God. Put that bitch in her place. Letting you? No. You're using an excuse, or you asking permission to go to the fucking gym? Jesus Christ, go to the fucking gym. Maybe she's like, oh my God, he's going to see better looking women. Okay, then she better get off her fat ass and go to the fucking gym. That's her problem. So maybe that's where it's coming from. Ay, Nelson, you can't go to the fucking gimnasio because there's going to be chicas there with big tetas. No. Fuck off. Or get a new wife. There's more out there. There are many more people out there. Let you. Jesus Christ. I'm about to rage. I'm going to leave it there, Nelson. Go to the fucking gym. Freddie, with the steel clubs, would 5 pounds be enough for now? More than enough. More than enough. Ashton, Papa Solio, I only have 10-pound dumbbells. What are some good workouts for my chest and stomach? How old are you? I mean, 10 pounds is nothing when it comes to chest workouts. You can do push-ups and things like that. It's not a lot of overload. So stomach, you mean abdominals, like rectus abdominis? I mean, honestly, there's a ton of exercises. Some good workouts, there's many. I hate these questions because they're very lazy and very basic. You're 14, so I appreciate the question. So don't take it the wrong way. But there are a lot of great workouts out there. So any fundamental strength training, curls, chest presses, but just 10 pounds is not that much. I would just focus a lot more on body weight and calisthenics and doing push-ups and things like that. You can use the dumbbells for handles and get really deep in your push-ups, get a pull-up bar and do pull-ups, practice yoga. There's a lot of great things. Focus on your nutrition. So you're young and that's awesome. If you have access to heavier weights, or you can get heavier weights like bands, they're not that expensive and they can provide a lot of resistance. So I would look into that if you really want to build muscle. And stomach, you could do leg raises, you could do planks, you could do a lot of exercises. But remember, if you want to get rid of belly fat, for example, it's better nutrition, better sleep, and doing a lot of workouts. I would get access to a pull-up bar and outside and do a lot of body weight exercises. But it's good stuff. I'm glad you're starting young. It's good for you. All right, let's see. Bruised Lee, I should say. Papa Solio, can you have a GI Swole? We have that on the list. Apparel being made. Being swole is half the battle, indeed. I actually have that on the list for upcoming merch and stuff to design. So it'll be coming. Tyler, do you personally use any editing apps for content? I mean, when I personally edit something, which I don't really at this point, but I use Final Cut, but our team uses Premiere. There are many different editing apps. I don't do any editing on the phone or anything like that. And a lot of times if you use like TikTok and Instagram, like a lot of these apps have tons of editing within it. So there's no excuse to not make content or make good content. There's just so many options to edit. Your phone's really a computer. Freddie, doing research and have seen clubs and maces. I'm guessing due to where the weight is on the item, it changes how it works slightly. Not slightly, tremendously. So the thickness of the grip, the material it's made out of, The weight distribution, the torque, a mace at 10 pounds and a club at 10 pounds are completely different. The rate of the swing, the lever arm, it's all very different. The torque. So a lighter weight with a longer arm is going to produce a lot more torque versus having the shorter lever arm like a club. So the speed of the movement, where the stress is, the grip stress, like there's a lot of differences. I recommend people get started with clubs and then move to maces. If you do high rep, hundreds and thousands of reps inside and outside circles with a club, it will help you tremendously before you get to maces. I personally think people should start with clubs before maces. Oh, that felt good. That felt good. Let's go. Hadouken! All right, we're about to move on. We have to move on. But great questions. We got overtime, so let's just fucking get right into it. Let's just move on because we got overtime too. Forgot about that. How did I forget about overtime? I didn't really. I love taking questions. I really would just take a ton more as long as they're coming in. But anyway, if you didn't get your question asked, let's say you didn't make it to the roundtable last night or you missed today's episode, askpapaswolio.com. Call in, leave a question. Happy to get to it in tomorrow's episode, askpapaswolio.com. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. Has everyone, even if you watch, have you left a review on Spotify? Make sure you leave a review. 5 stars if you enjoy the show. And of course, Apple Podcasts. All those apps, leave a review, but hit that thumbs up button right now. Yeah. And get ready because we have overtime coming up in just about 10-15 minutes. We got a brand new Driving While Gaining. Be there inside the Daily Swole Telegram chat and Swole TV streaming right at the end of today's episode. It's going to be fucking Titty McLitterson. Don't miss out on that. It's going to be lit. Overtime is going to be the tits, the tatters. It's going to be the nuts, the fucking nuts. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's get into some shit posts. All right, let's rock this ship. Here we go. Fam, we have Fef today.
Well, I could be wrong.
Hashtag Fef.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
All right, my God, do we have some videos? Let's take a shorter one first. I'll take the first part last. Let's see what we got here. Oh, God. That one's definitely, I know which one's going last. Eesh. All right, fam, pick a number, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. We're fucked either way. Number 1 or number 2. Don't take weight loss advice from someone who is losing weight.
What's in the box?
Or it's society. Oh, my God.
Matt Damon.
So many options. So many options. All right, here we go. Let's do Ashton. Ashton, 14 years old, making some sick gains. Ashton chooses number 1. Let's go. Listen to the man. Let him cook. Let him cook. We got a bunch of ones. Karen says number 1. Peter Muchko, number 1. James, number 1. All right. Don't take weight loss advice from someone who's losing weight. Yeah, why would you? Don't take advice from someone who's actually being successful. Let's take a look.
Do not take weight loss advice from someone who is currently losing weight. Do not.
What's on your face? What's on her face? Is that one of those like sticker tattoos? Jesus Christ. She looks like she got sat on by an elephant.
Take dieting advice from someone currently on a diet. I know I'm gonna piss people off with that one. My neighbor was fixing his motorcycle and it was loud, so I accidentally finished all this. I was one of those evangelists giving advice, solicited and unsolicited.
Fam, just a heads up. There is such a thing as decaf. There is such a thing as decaf. Remember at the beginning of today's episode, we talked about the elimination diet and testing things, and you can't test what you don't eliminate, and some people have issues with caffeine. Not everyone should be drinking coffee. Coffee is not for everyone. Some people just can't handle it, okay?
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
Okay, here we go.
Those evangelists giving advice, solicited and unsolicited, for decades. Because I did it successfully, multiple times. When people say dieting doesn't work, it's not because...
Did she just say she successfully lost weight multiple times? That sounds like repeated failure to me. If I did it successfully multiple times, you fucking kept on failing multiple times. That's what it says to me. Okay.
You can't lose weight in the short term. There's a lot of research on the detrimental effects of yo-yo dieting. There's a reason I haven't really talked about this.
Jesus Christ. I know I keep stopping it. There's a lot of research on the detrimental effects of yo-yo dieting. You know what? There's a lot of research on the detrimental effects of skydiving without a parachute. There's a lot of detrimental effects of swimming in shark-infested waters for extended periods of time. Oh my God, there's detrimental effects of doing something stupid. Oh my God. That's literally what she's saying. So don't yo-yo diet. Fundamentally improve your nutrition, and you got to do it once.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
Oh my God. This is such a great ramp up into overtime. I'm going to fucking blow my load.
The detrimental effects of yo-yo dieting. The reason I haven't really talked about this here because there's a lot of nuance involved, and I want to make it very clear that I am not speaking ill of the body that I have right now. There's a stronger likelihood than not that a lifetime of dieting will land you in the body that you have been fighting to avoid.
What?
That you have been taught to fear. And you will have spent years fighting yourself and your own set point instead of tackling the fear. That work is in here. There's life.
That work is in here. Yeah, exactly where the Twinkies are going. The work is in here. Yeah, it's right here. It's in that face. It's in that hole in your face. The biggest hole in your face is right there. Yeah.
After dieting, I promise.
There's life after dieting, I promise. Yo. Okay. Not a lot if you're going to be stuffing your face with garbage and not exercising.
I fart in your general direction.
Oh my God, it's over. Oh, it's over. Nice. Sweet. That wasn't it. All right. That was shorter. See, that's, oh, it's right, ladies. It's all about the length. It's all about the length, but here's a situation where shorter is better. You know what I'm saying?
Great Scott!
All right, we'll leave that in itself, but there's no need to unpack that. It's just straight up it's just straight up Gump.
My name's Forrest
All right,
Gump.
let's do this one next. It's society. It's society. Now, whatever is going to come out of this person's face hole, like society wants me to be thin. I mean, so does science and gravity. It's not society. It's you projecting your insecurities and your lack of effort and just not wanting to change. It's easier to change your hashtags and blame society than it is to get off your fat ass and put in some fucking work.
This idea that I need to be in a thinner body is harmful. The idea that like my body is the most important.
All right, that's really quiet. We get to skip it. No, it's too quiet. All right, so we're skipping that. Too low, too quiet. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. All right, so we're going to skip that one. We're going to move to the last one because we have overtime. So let's see. Let me just make a... All right, so we're skipping that one. Too quiet. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. Let's move on to the last one, and then we're going to go into OT. All right, OT is... We got plenty in OT, so we don't need that extra one. All right, here we go. Last one. Transgender women are biological women in their brain. Yeah. I wonder where this video is going to go because, yeah. Sure, that's fine. Just going off the title, just to preface it, because that's the title. Transgender women are biological women in their brain. That's fine. You might be a unicorn in your brain. Like that doesn't matter. Talk about not being important. There's a lot of things going on in people's brains, and a lot of it's fucking retarded. So that doesn't mean anything. Of course, it's your whatever in your brain. That's fine. That's what mental illness is. It's in your brain, not mine. Okay, here we go.
Transgendered women are biologically women, though, in their brain.
Matt Damon.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
It's just the body didn't match up. Okay, and there's scientific proof of this. I have a clip following.
There is not. Yeah, there is not. That's like, no, there's not scientific proof. How are you defining? We have to make sure you define science now, right? You have to define what science is, because over the past couple years, there are a lot of definitions that are incorrect about the Ciencio. You know what I'm saying?
So you can watch it. And this is why we need
wait.
the distinction between cisgendered and transgendered, because biologically we're the same. But
no. Biologically, we're the same in our brains, but the rest of it, that's not how it works, sweetheart. We're biologically the same in our brains. The brain isn't male or female.
the rest of it, God, imagine how shitty it would be to know that you're, a woman here, but then you gotta walk around with a wiener.
I got hairy legs.
Whoa.
And no boobs. I like my boobs. I'm fond of my boobs. I've named my boobs Betsy and Bertha. All right, watch the clip.
Holy shit. Why are you putting this on the internet? God, this is creepy.
Down below, we have the staining pattern of a gay man. The picture above is the staining pattern of a straight man. And observe, there is no difference between the gay man and the straight man. However, over here, in this corner, we have the staining pattern for a
Okay, you can't just jump into what's a staining pattern of, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a clip from 6 years ago, so very up to date. It's from National Geographic TV. Here's like what the caption is on this, like, I guess it's like an Instagram post they did. I'm just going to read it just so we have a vague idea of what's going on. The hypothalamus is a tiny nerve center in your brain that controls your heart rate, sleep, and metabolism. New research on the hypothalamus might prove that there are areas of the brain that may correlate with gender identity and not external body parts. Hashtag gender revolution. So this is in 2017. You mean that we can pick up on like mental illnesses and patterns of like inconsistency in people's brains? No shit. Great. Shocker.
transgender woman. She has the same staining pattern as the non-transgender, as the cisgender woman. There are areas in the brain that correlate with gender identity and not with external body parts.
See, this is why we need the distinction between cisgendered and transgendered, because biologically in the brain, physically in the brain, they are female, but then their body does not match, which, my goodness.
There's no science anywhere here. There hasn't been any science. Can't just show this fucking clip of this, like, this staining pattern over here is a little bit different than this one. Yo, need a lot more context to even. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's just keep on going.
And also, like I said, how horrible it would be to walk around with a penis, but then there's individuals, that's their thing. They like the wiener. They keep it. Man, if you could trade, I would never trade. I would never trade my pussy. I like her. We're good friends.
Oh my God, I'm so nauseous. Oh my God.
I also want to clarify,
How
there's
is it
nothing wrong with a
how is it still-
transgendered woman having a wiener.
There's nothing with a transgendered woman having a wiener. There's nothing wrong with someone claiming to be a woman that has a dick. There's just nothing. That's totally fine. Like, all right, do what you want. And I do actually mean that. It's like, fine, do what you want, but let's not. You're not a woman. Let's just clarify that, okay? If you want to live that way, dress that way, act like you have a dick, you're a man. You're a biological man. Obviously, your brain is not functioning the way the vast majority of people function from environmental exposures, manipulation in school, and brainwashing, and the desperate desire for belonging and love and attention. Okay. But I mean, come on, you are that. You're not a woman. You're not, oh, you're a woman up here, but not down here. Bruh. That's not how it works. Okay. That's not reality. That's not That's not the same playing field. You know, everyone over here is playing soccer and you're playing like badminton. It's not the same fucking game. That's not how it works. Okay.
Wants a wiener. My God, that would be like a superpower, man. You could have titties and a dick. You could literally be unstoppable.
I'll stop you with like proper signage on a bathroom. Oh shit, too soon? What a superpower. But now you can't pee. Okay.
This is why all the cisgendered women are scared. It's because you're superheroes.
Please end.
And before you think it's wrong for
Christ.
someone to have boobies and a wiener, intersex people exist.
0.00000000000000000%. Intersex is much different. Intersex is very different. Intersex is very different. You pretending you're something that you're not based on conditioning. That's not the same.
There's as many intersex individuals born as redheads. You might even know one. Dun dun dun.
Both exceptionally rare. Exceptionally rare. Okay.
If you haven't been here long, I'm weird. But I love the trans community.
Oh, I'm sure you fucking do. Look at me. Look at me. Look at my shield. I'm a knight in shining armor. Look at me. I am so virtuous. I love the trans.
I love y'all. I love the queer community. I love you all.
I love all of you so much. I love all of you.
What happened to your queer party friends?
I love you so much. I am so in love with you. It's a strange thing to say. It's a strange thing to say. I am so in love with this community. I love people that want to be the opposite things. I love it. Sure. Always in a veil of compassion. So compassionate, so loving, so accepting until you disagree. And then you're a fucking bigot and you should be hung from the rafters. Okay. Excellent. Horrifying and depressing. But hey, we have the Tainty Man. Oh, the Tainty Man. Look at Tainty Man. Look at the Tainty Man. He's such a tainted boy. Look at the Tainty Man. And look at the church. Oh, hi, sweet girl. Hi, sweetie. Very nice. Yow. Yow. Okay. There you go, sweetie. All right, fam, we got a FEF card to give away now. We're going to go into OT, so you can start heading over into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. We are going to go deep into overtime. It's going to be fucking awesome. Falcon, kick it off. Time to give away a fucking Swole card. Yaboosh! Swole card. FEF. Swole card. FEF. 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 We got a fucking winner today. It is Kristen. Oh, we have to. What an awesome post. All right. Kristen's post at the beginning in the Swole fucking fantastic. So everyone go into the Facebook group and let Kristen know that she won today's Swole card. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2485 in the subject, your mailing address. In the body of the email, this story about standing up for yourself, feffing your doctor. Feffing someone who's obviously lying to your fucking face and making amazing positive changes, not succumbing to big pharma and sucking down medications for the rest of your fucking life. Absolute amazing. Congratulations. Send us that email. Everyone go and comment on her post and let her know that she won today's Swole card. Fam, it's time to go into OTZ, my kneesies. So head on into the Daily Swole Telegram chat and of course, Swole TV. It's time for overtime, time. Oh, it's going down.
I better use my strong.
It's going down. We'll take some soundboard requests in the meantime. I can't wait for this brand new DWG. It's going to be lit. You've been on fire. DWG in 2023.
Another example of cake gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
Ooh. Next time you go to Cold Stone, ask for gender flavor. I'm sure they have it. Can I get trans ice cream? Can I get cis vanilla?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
What a great show today,
Everyone
fam.
in this room is now dumber.
We'll get that other video for tomorrow. We'll get the other
I
video
award you no points,
with better
and may
sound,
God have mercy
louder.
on your soul.
Oh, it's OT.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Here we go. Little cocktail. Ooh, a hit on the fucking table. It's getting thick. Coast to coast. Very nice, fam. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Let's crank that bad boy up. All right, we are heading into overtime right now. It's time to fucking go. Finish him. All right, OT starts right now inside Swole Normus X in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. If you're brand new, log into your account right there on your homepage. Once you log in, you'll see the link for the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Let's fucking go. So we will see you tomorrow for episode 2486, and it's going to be fucking lit. So overtime starts in 2 minutos. 2 minutos, fam. We will see you tomorrow also for Swole Slut Saturday. So join now, swolenormusx.com. We'll see you in OT. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Oh.